Alright, boys and girls, and welcome to Gordon Guitar. We have The Rose and their song called Alive. So I really enjoyed this verse playing here, especially because it's, I love the bass there going on. A great song to learn. And let's dive into this one together. We have the capo set here on the 3rd fret. Alright, so with that, we have the easiest chords possible. Let's go over the chords. So starting with the E minor, that is open E, second A, second D, open G, open B, and open E. We have the next chord here, kind of a transition chord here, the D, but with an F sharp in the bass, the D F chord. Sounds like that. It's second on E, then I mute the next string, which is the A there, and I just lean my finger using on E on top of the A string. So it gets muted, and then open D, second G, third B, and open E down there. We'll pretty much stay on the bass mid strings here when we play the verse. So anyway, that is the D F chord. Next is the G. So that is third on E, second on A, open D, open G, third B, and third E. We have C, so that is third on A, second on D, open G, first B, and open E. And then finally we have the D. So that is open D, second G, third B, and second E. Alright, so E minor, D, F, G, C, and D. And that is actually the chord progression here for the verse. But we need to learn how to play this one. So we have a strumming pattern, and it's actually divided into 3 different parts, alright? Because we need to divide it into 3 parts to split everything from each other. So let's go for one full round first. You're gonna hear how it sounds all together, and then we're gonna split it up. So I'm gonna illustrate it with an E minor. Okay, so grab the E minor, and it will sound like this. Alright, so that is one full round. Now let's look at the parts, starting with the first part. That is down, 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 up. Okay, so down, 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 up. Okay, that is part 1. Then part 2 is up, up, down. Okay, and notice I'm still playing here on the mid bass string, so I'm avoiding the E, B down here, okay? So the part 2 was up, up, down. Again. And the part 3 now is up, up, down, up. So very similar to part 2, but you have an extra up in the end there. So part 2, up, up, down. Part 3 now, up, up, down, up. And that's it, guys. So part 1, down, 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 up. Part 2, up, up, down. Part 3, up, up, down, up. So like this, slowly. Alright, so a couple of rounds of it so you get the feeling for the rhythm. It goes like this. So now we're ready for the actual song here, and we're starting with the verse. We said we have the chord progression in the order we learned the chords, so E minor, D, F, G, C, and D. All right, so we're gonna play the E minor first. You're gonna play part 1, so down, 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 up. Then you switch to the D, F and play part 2, up, up, down. And then you go to G, and play part 3, up, up, down, up. Then you go to C and play part 1 and part 2, down, 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 up, 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 down. And then you end with the D and play part 3, up, up, down, up. All right, so that is how it goes. So together, all these 5 chords, they split on 2 full strumming rounds, all right, if that makes sense. So E minor part 1, D, F part 2, G part 3. That is 1 full round together for all these 3 chords. And then you had C part 1 and part 2, and D part 3. And that makes it up for 2 full strumming rounds. All right, so I'm going to take you through this very slow now so you understand what we're doing. Let's start with E minor part 1. That is how I play the verse. So, in standard tempo, so there you have the verse, boys and girls. Let's take a look at the chorus. Between the verse and the chorus here, there's a vocal part, kind of a bridge, not a bridge part, but a pre-chorus part. And there are no instrumentals there, so it's just vocal and then starts the chorus pretty much. So the chorus now is played with 3 chords. It's C, D, and E minor. So C, you're gonna play part 1, the down, 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 up. Then D, you play part 2 and part 3, up, up, down, up, down, up. So these 2 first chords makes up for 1 full strumming round. And then you end with E minor, where you play 1 full strumming round. That means both part 1, part 2, and part 3 on the E minor, the last chord. So C part 1, D part 2, and part 3, E minor, 1 full round. Let's go. Slow it down. In standard tempo, it sounds like this. Alright guys, that is pretty much it, because later in the bridge part, which is not covered here, we have a lot of electronics and it's based upon the E minor. We'll not go there because it's not guitar friendly, and yeah, it doesn't make any sense to cover it anyway. It's just pretty much a sound there based upon the E minor, like I said, so nothing to cover here. Verse and chorus, that's it for the Rose Alive. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please show me that, leave a comment, thumb up this tutorial, subscribe to this channel if you thought about it for a while. Perhaps you watched tutorials here on Gordon Guitar but never subscribed. Why not? And get the latest, greatest updates. You can also wish for songs here, so you will have your song brought up on Gordon Guitar perhaps on Wednesday. So that's an opportunity for you guys. Anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, play tuned.